Mr Speaker, I'm a person of my word, and as I stated in my last budget and reply, we support sustainable funding in the NDIS. This budget shows the government reducing NDIS spending growth, and I call on the government to outline how this will be achieved. NDIS participants and their families deserve to know. We live in the best country in the world, but at the moment millions of Australians are hurting and have been forgotten by this government. They're feeling the pain of the cost of living crisis, as well as the government's energy policy crisis, which is just driving electricity and gas bills higher and higher day by day. In this budget, despite the government's energy policies, your electricity bill, as I say, is still going up by more than $500. Yet you were promised on 97 occasions by the Prime Minister of this country that that bill would go down by $275 per year. Now, I'd love to see a copy of anyone's power bill that's gone down by $275 since Mr Albanese made that promise. Moreover, Labor promised that the average household's power bill would be around $1,200 in 2024-25, but forecasts in the budget say that it will be in excess of $2,000 per annum. Australians thought that there was help on the way in this budget, but with a family with children and a mortgage, they are $25,000 worse off under this Labor government. Very few Australians can say that they are better off today than they were 12 months ago when Labor was elected. As I said in my budget and reply speech last year, we will support good policy and stand against bad policy. In the October budget, we supported several of the government's measures. We've also provided bipartisan support on the AUKUS security deal, and we've supported almost 70 pieces of legislation since Labor formed government. In this budget, we also support several measures, increasing bulk billing incentives, expanding the parenting payment, and the additional investment in women's safety and implementation of the National Plan to End Violence Against Women and Children, which builds on the $3.5 billion the Coalition invested in women's safety initiatives. Mr Speaker, Australians give new governments the benefit of the doubt. But think of how hard Labor has made things after just 1 year. Australians around our country are grappling with mounting costs. Your mortgage repayments, gas and electricity bills, supermarket and petrol station receipts, and insurance premiums are the evidence. The number of businesses which have gone into insolvency has almost doubled in a year. And the problem is Labor's inflation. At 7%, it's well and truly above the 2 to 3% target range. International factors feed into inflation, like the war in Ukraine, but the main ingredient is the domestic factors. If domestic inflation wasn't a factor, Australia's inflation would be comparable across like economies, but it's not. At 6.6%, Australia's core inflation, the best measure of inflation, is higher than every G7 nation.